is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe with Neversay.com, and today I'm gonna revisit breathing and bracing. Now, I can already hear some of you out there saying, but you already have a breathing and bracing video. And yeah, you'd be right. But there's two main reasons why I'm revisiting. The first being that was one of the first videos I ever did for my channel, and I sucked. The information was good, but I wasn't. And to be honest, it's not like I'm a whole lot better now, but I do have some new ways to look at things, and I truly believe that is the most important video on my entire channel. Which brings me to number two. Number two is that this is the number one thing that changed my lifting. It took me to a whole nother level. I'm gonna get into a story about it, but guys, you can forget about all your time under tension, the best program, the perfect hip angle on your deadlift, your steroids, your supplements, your whatever the case may be. None of that matters. None of that is important if you don't have this first. You are never, ever going to be big and strong if you cannot teach your body how to support weight. So I figured we'd go over that today. Now, I know some of you are thinking about clicking off this video because you're saying, I already know how to breathe and brace. I thought so too. But much like many of you out there, I was wrong. You're probably wrong, dude. Now, the way that I figured this out was with my squat. So I did know how to breathe and brace. I knew the idea of it, I knew how to do it correctly, and I've been practicing it, but I had not had like an epiphany moment. So prior to having that epiphany moment, I had good days and bad days on squat. There's some days I went in at 315, felt like an absolute truck, and about 500 pounds to 600 pounds is about where I would top out. That is the absolute most amount of weight that I could handle. I did not understand how people could do anything more. And then one day, it was an early morning and I was squatting and I got my breathe and brace and I dropped in and it was a completely different experience. And as with most epiphanies, my words are not gonna do it justice. All that I can say is that it was closer feeling to a leg press than a squat. And it was an entirely new thing for me. It opened up my world and my squat literally started jumping by 50 pounds, 40 pounds, 100 pounds. It just kept going up, going up, going up, and that has not stopped. Also, my deadlift, my strongman, everything started going up just because I learned how to breathe and brace correctly and had that epiphany. So hopefully after this video, you guys can have some of those moments as well and you guys can step up to the next level. So let's get into it. So to help me demonstrate this, I have a can of Monster. Now I know a lot of you are thinking, what does a can of Monster have anything to do with your core? You're gonna make it fatter. But the reason why I have this can is because I want you to think about this can like your core. They look really similar. But the basic idea here is that everything from your neck down to your waist is a cylinder, and cylinders are strong. That's why they've been used in architecture for literally thousands and thousands of years. Now, if you use this example in something like the squat, you'll really see where it is important, because if you miss a squat, it is almost never because your legs are not strong enough. All of your legs are probably about 4 times stronger than you actually think they can. The only thing your legs might have something to do with the squat right now is that your legs are overpowering your core. If you miss a squat, it is almost always because your core broke somewhere. Either you folded forward, you folded back, something happened, you got wobbly, something went wrong there. Almost always you fall forward. And that would not be a strength problem. That is more of a breathing and brace problem. Believe it or not, your legs will take care of themselves. So when you're squatting, focus on your brace. When you're deadlifting, focus on your brace. If that thing holds, the weight will go up. You just need to learn how to teach your body how to biomechanically support that weight. Now I want you to look at this can in 2 different days. The first one being like this, where it's unopened. This is how I want your body to be when you're doing a squat or a deadlift or any big movement. Any movement at all, really. And the reason why this can is able to support so much weight in its current state is because the contents on the inside of the can are pushing outward, trying to escape while the outside of the can is holding its integrity. Now, if you think about getting a big breath of air, that's almost like shaking it up, right? Because you're creating carbonation, you're taking space away from the inside, just like you are with this can. When this can is unopened and shaken up, I can squeeze as hard as I possibly can and I barely move it at all. I can stack a ton of weights on top of this and it is not going to break for a little while. Now, if you take that same exact can and you open it up, how much weight can it support now? Anyone is able to take this thing, dent it, crush it, do whatever they want with it. It cannot support nearly as much weight. Couple reasons why. Number one, you're only relying on the outside integrity of the can. That is like only relying on your brace. Your brace needs something to push against. That would be the compression and the liquid inside. That is exactly what you're trying to create in your body. So if your can is open, then you're losing power. This is exactly why it is completely stupid to yell or scream or do anything like that while you're lifting. I know you think you look cool, but you don't. This is exactly why when you guys see someone going for a world record attempt, they just hold their breath and they turn purple. That's exactly what happens. They don't let their air out. There's never any screaming. That is what strong people do. Yelling is more for 16-year-olds at Planet Fitness. Now, in order to demonstrate my point, I'm gonna stack some plates on top of these 2 cans, and this did not go well last time, so hopefully it goes better this time. So as you guys can see, with an unopened can, just like if you were squatting, you got a huge belly breath of air, you brace out, that can is going to be able to support a ton of weight. I can just keep adding weight on and on and on. I'm going to stop doing it now because I do not want to clean up a mess. Conversely, when we start adding weight on top of the already opened can, it does not go nearly as well. I can add a little bit of weight. You're relying on your brace here. You're not seeking any air. You're not trying to really get that core tight. You're not trying to do all the things you're supposed to do. And eventually your can will collapse. Now, it's also important to note right here that if you have ever had a back injury to any extent while weightlifting, which means you have, if you've done any amount of heavy lifting, you've hurt your back. But if you take your cylinder and you fill it up with air, your body does not have room to really get in that scared cat back position for a deadlift or a squat because there's not enough room for your body to move around and collapse on itself. So breathing and bracing will not only make you stronger, it'll keep you safer and help your longevity in the sport, I guess. And you can absolutely take my word on this because I had broken my back twice, the second time of which my left hip flexor was paralyzed for 6 months. Ever since I started learning how to breathe and brace correctly, I've not hurt my back once. Probably shouldn't have said that. So learning how to do this will not only make you safer, it will also make you stronger. So let's get a little bit more in the detail of how to do this. Step number one, you need to get a lot of air and put it in your belly. Now, if you take the average person and you tell them take a deep breath, you will get this. Their chest will rise, their shoulders will rise, their traps will rise. Everything is going upward, including their center of balance. So that is raising their center of balance, which is the absolute last thing you want when you're trying to move something heavy. Before you go trying to move something heavy, you want to think of yourself like a petulant child that does not want to be picked up. You've all tried to pick up a kid who didn't want to be picked up. Kids can be heavy. McDonald's. But that is exactly what you're trying to do here. You're trying to make yourself as short and as fat as possible. This is also why when you're getting that huge belly breath, I want you to think about when you're sitting around a party with your buddies and you're like, oh, look, I'm pregnant. And you try to make your belly really big. That is exactly what you were trying to do when you get your air. Now, as far as how much air you need to get, you need more. I know you think you have enough air in your belly, but you don't. Get more. That's a little better, but get more. More, a little bit more. And now, if you feel like your eyes are gonna pop out of your head, your face all purple, and you couldn't be much more uncomfortable, then you're doing it right. You absolutely never ever want to do this under load if you're able. So if you're getting ready to do an overhead press or a front squat or something like that, if you're able to get your air before you take the bar out of the rack, absolutely do that. If that's not possible, check out my other videos because I explain when you should be breathing during the exercises in all my tutorials. And that will make a huge difference in your lifting. Also, while you're getting all this air in your belly, I want you to put it in different areas. So you're gonna start out right behind your belly button and start filling that area up. Once that is full, move onto your obliques on the sides. And while you have a lifting belt on, try to feel your sides expand and push in that lifting belt. And then move on to your lower back. There should be a full 360-degree awareness of your core pushing out against that belt. That is the only way it's gonna work. If there's any wiggle room at all, you're gonna collapse. It's gonna dent. Your can's gonna dent. You're gonna break. You're gonna miss that lift. And now that you have all that air in your belly, it is time to brace it down and make sure it stays where it's supposed to be. So much like before, if you grab the average person off the street and you told them to flex their abs, this is what you would get. Number one, stop doing that. You look so stupid and you're gonna regret it in 5 years. And the second reason why you don't wanna do it is because you are denting your can. Think about a dented can that can't support any weight. If you're gonna choose one of two pillars to support your house, would you choose the one that is crooked and bent, or would you choose the one that is straight and able to support weight? Exactly, so why are you doing it? When you brace, I want you pushing your abs out against that belt in your least attractive, least sexy position ever. Because the more that you are shaped like that can, the more weight you're gonna be able to support. Now, as far as how hard you actually have to brace down, yes, all of it. You want to be bearing down as hard as you possibly can. This is exactly why during squats at our gym, I'm never saying push your legs. I'm always saying focus on your core. Whether you're doing a squat, you're a deadlift, anything, I'm always saying think about your core. Focus on your core. Your legs will take care of themselves. Your legs are strong. You can leg press thousands and thousands of pounds without any problem at all, but you can only squat 300 pounds. Why? Because your core is weak and you're not braced. Fixing this one simple thing is gonna add 50 to 100 pounds to most of your lifts. So it's worth spending time on. Strength is a skill, and the only way that you get better at it is by mindful practice. Now, it's extremely important to note that I do this before every single lift, whether it be a deadlift, a squat, a bench, a pull-up. I am always bracing. If I go to pick up an end table to help my buddy move, I breathe and brace beforehand because it keeps me safe. So I would encourage you to practice this every single rep of every single exercise of every single workout that you do. That is the only way that's gonna come around. I probably practiced for about a year to a year and a half before it actually clicked. But just learning to do this took me from a strong guy, like one of the strongest guys in the commercial gym, to a true strong guy who is strong anywhere you go. There are so many of you at that level where you're between a 400 and 500 pound deadlift or a 300, 400 pound squat. This is going to take you to the next level. Trust me, you just need to learn to do it correctly and you need to spend time practicing it. So one of the drills or core movements that I use on my deadlift and squat days are these kettlebell ab pushy uppy things. I actually stole this idea from Ed Cohn and the super training guys, but the idea is that you lay down flat on the floor so you can feel your lower back push into the floor. You stick a kettlebell on top of your stomach. From there, you take a deep belly breath so you can see that kettlebell rise. Once you push it up to its topmost position, you're going to brace down and hold that for a couple seconds. I want you to envision yourself squatting. You should be feeling your lower back getting flatter and flatter against the ground, less and less arch, because you should be filling it up with air just like your soda can. Adding these in either during my warm-up or during my giant sets as the ab variation then I'm able to get an extra rep in and just kind of cue my mind on what I'm actually doing so that when it comes back around and I get underneath that squat bar or go up to a deadlift bar, I'm already cueing in my mind exactly what I want my abs to do because I just practiced it with kettlebell. It can definitely help you pick this up quicker, hopefully. All right, guys, so there is breathing and bracing revisited. A couple new things for you guys to think about, and if you guys have never watched my breathing and bracing video before, you need to do this. Trust me, no matter what you do in your lifting career, no matter the best program in the world, the best supplements in the world, the best whatever in the world is not going to matter if you cannot breathe and brace. This should be your ABCs of lifting. This is the first thing everyone should learn. Unfortunately, no one does. But if they did, they would be so much further along, just like me. I didn't learn this until a couple years ago, and that's when I kind of leveled up. Guys, if I would have learned this back when I was like 18, I would be on a completely different level right now. So if you're a young man, or you're an old man, or you're a young man, or you're a dog, whatever you are, learn to breathe and brace because it's going to improve everything in your life. You're not going to get back injuries anymore. You are going to be stronger. You're going to be able to push more weight. You're going to level up. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I cannot wait until you guys get this. I literally preach it like crazy because there is nothing in my entire lifting career that has ever made such a big difference. So I really hope some of you can get this, apply it to your training, and start hitting some bigger numbers. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you so much for the support, especially to those of you who have been around since the very first breathing and bracing video. And I'm sorry about that. If you guys have ordered a personalized program or you're interested in ordering a personalized program, make sure you email me at neversay@gmail.com. We're getting ready to come out with some new t-shirts probably in a couple weeks, guys. So if you want to pick up one of the old ones, we're getting rid of all that stock. You want to go to lowbrand.com, go check those out. Pick one up like today because literally I think there's like 10 left. And as always, once they're gone, they're gone. We won't restock. And finally, this is something that I absolutely hate doing. But guys, if you did find this helpful, share it with somebody that you think could use this. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm so close to 100,000 subscribers, and that is a number that I've wanted to hit for a very long time. Once I hit that number, honestly, I don't care anymore. That's just a number that I said I wanted to be able to hit, so I'm very, very close. So if you guys could subscribe, that would mean a lot. But if one of you wanted to create 7,000 extra YouTube accounts and subscribe to me on all of them, that would work too. Thank you, man. Anyway, guys, this weekend is my birthday, so I probably won't be seeing you guys. So until I do, go out, do something amazing in your lives, keep working hard, people, be nice to each other, learn to breathe and brace. It'll completely change the game. And I'll see you then.